Hey there, hello. It is the final week of July, and it is red hot outside, red hot on the local sports calendar. This is going to be fun tonight. Lily Zhao, Brandon Cruz, Tim Van Born, and we're happy that you're with us as well. Starting lineup on the FOX6 Sports Blitz. The Packers get started in Green Bay. The training fields are on, and a quotable cornerback makes us say what? Meanwhile, the best of the best in the National League zero in on each other at American Family Field. What a week it figures to be for the Brewers, and that's before they either visit or do not visit the swap shop. Plus, our latest high school hotshots right on cue.
I don't think you have that same mindset of run it back because you could be stagnant. I'm trying to get better. I'm not trying to run back losing in the first round of the playoffs. So.
I remember when last week when the Eagles got their rings, I text Coach Pasacci and I was just like, I'm sick. Like I seen it and I looked at it, I was like, it made me want to come to work.
Well, now Josh Jacobs gets to go to work. The Packers are involved in training camp in Green Bay. It's a monster time of year every year, no matter what else is going on. So let's talk about that initially and Jordan Love leading the Packers back to it. I liked his answer. I don't want to run it back. First round playoff. That's not exciting.
No, and it's not what this team is expecting. And I liked the follow-up answer we showed there by Josh Jacobs. I mean, this is a team that doesn't want to say, oh, hey, we made the playoffs and watch other teams enjoy it. This team seems like it does have a mission, and that mission is to get to the Super Bowl. Do they have the talent? We don't know at this point yet or not, but the attitude is definitely there, and that's what you want to see in that first week and the first few days of workouts at training camp.
Jordan Love's been around for a while now, Lily. 3 years as an apprentice, now his third year as a starter. Where have you seen him change?
I think the leadership aspect of it, right? Again, you come in and Aaron Rodgers is a starting quarterback. You sit on the bench, you learn, and then you're thrust into it in a starting role. And he's kind of come more into his own as a leader and a guy that, his teammates rightfully should be looking up to. He's more vocal. I think also in terms of the technique, working on the footwork, and hopefully a healthy season for Jordan Love translates to even more success on the field for the Packers. But you have to like the fact that he is taking charge in the department that he needs to as a quarterback, and that's being the number one guy.
His bank account has certainly changed too. How much of this is on him this year?
I think a lot. I think a lot of people were wondering when he was paid that money, is he worth being a $50 million quarterback? And you can talk about last year again. We've talked about it. Was it, not the season he wanted? Of course, he was injured. He talked about it. But, Matt LaFleur and Jordan Love mentioned it wasn't a regression that he made. But again, this is a big prove-it year for Jordan Love to say, this is why I'm worth the Packers paying me $50 million plus a year. I think a lot does ride on his shoulders as the quarterback because, again, when the offense is working, when it's clicking, it's all great for him. But when it doesn't, a lot of eyeballs on the quarterback as well.
Right, good because Matt LaFleur saying this week, there's a reason we took Matthew Golden in the first round, or there are a lot of reasons why we did that. And people are going to long remember, Brandon, the NFL draft and all the hype, and Golden is there. But this guy has an opportunity, and how much is on him? This is a deep wide receiver group. Someone could emerge, though.
Yeah, and I think there's a lot on him because he was that first-round pick. They hadn't done that in so long, and they need somebody to kind of really step up in that room and really try to take that number one position, and that's something he wants to do. And, yes, he's young. He hasn't practiced with them with pads yet, so they don't know what he's like that way, but they like what they see in the speed, the hands, and then Matt LaFleur was talking about the way he can put a foot in the ground and then move, and that is something that he likes to see. So that's so far so good for him, but I do think the pressure in that room is on him at this point.
Interesting for a young man to face that. The pads go on Monday. Things do change a little bit on the lines, probably as much as anything else. Elton Jenkins is on the line. The Packers say he'll be there when he's healthy, but he's not healthy right now. They're saying his back injury is why he's out. There's a contract situation that looms here as well. Are they related?
I don't know. It's hard to say. That puts a lot on Elton Jenkins saying that he's not necessarily working hard, I would think, if you're going to relate the two. I just think it's, in my opinion, coincidental because he has shown up. He was at the off-season workout program. He didn't work out, but he was there. He was present. He was part of the team. And now with this back injury, he's still there. He's part of the team. But there is a concern about him getting paid because he's now having to move over to center, and that's a position that doesn't get paid as much as the other offensive line positions. that he has played previously. So he's trying to work something out there, and I think that's going to be something very different than his physical condition with his back.
Nicknamed Big E, they say it certainly can't be empty when it comes to Elgton Jenkins for sure. Zach Tom's coffers are not empty. The big contract deal this week for a former fourth-round draft choice late in the fourth round, Lily Zhao. What a meteoric rise through his first few years in the NFL, and now basically $90 million coming his way.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is a guy that, again, Matt LaFleur talked about kind of being thrust into action as a starter, and he performed very well. We talked about, he's good in pass pro, obviously good run blocking as well, but he's kept Jordan Love very clean on the right side of the line, and that's why the Packers paid him. They wanted to get that position solidified. They bring in Zach Tom, and to his credit, he was here in the offseason. He talked about, me not being here does a disservice to me, so I wanted to be here. And of course, Matt LaFleur talked about he called Zach Tom right after he got that big contract, and there was a massive smile on Zach's face, and rightfully so. He's earned it, and now it's, of course, going back on the field this season and proving why he's worth that big money.
Super reliable player as well. The Packers really believe in him on that note. They drafted Anthony Belton in the second round after a first-round draft choice last year. Where's Jordan Morgan, or where's Anthony Belton going to find some time on the line?
That's a good question. I mean, the left tackle position, of course, I know Rasheed Walker thinks that's solidified. He's played the majority of the snaps. You have Jordan Morgan. You have Anthony Belton. I mean, this guy is versatile. That's why they brought him in. A big body as well, a big personality, and so
exuberant
personality. The Packers fans love him, and so again, he could potentially find some time along the line anywhere, but you have to think potentially if guys are not going to be in, he would maybe look at left tackle or right guard potentially, but a guy that wants to fit in anywhere that he can. So I think his versatility comes in key. The fact that he's practicing is important, being that second round pick. That those contracts weren't being solidified just yet before training camp, but he got it done. He is practicing, and now he kind of needs to figure out where he does fit in along the line.
And is his biggest contribution going to be running up and down the fan line there, or is he going to get on the field? Right, we shall see with Anthony Belton. He said it was fun. He kind of fed off the fans there a little bit. It's been fun to watch Bo Melton come in and emerge as a wide receiver. Now he's switching over to the other side of the ball, Brandon. This is a big pivot in the middle of a guy's career.
It really is. The one advantage is he's very athletic, and he's got a brother that's a cornerback in the NFL. So there is someone he can bounce a lot of stuff off of, you think. And the other fact is he also knows how big that room is, and they need so much help on the corner. He's a guy that seems to be able to do it, at least obviously they believe that he can, and his attitude towards it has been phenomenal. I mean, you were up there, you talked to him. I mean, he seems excited about this, and he says it's not a challenge, it's just what his job is to be done.
Yeah, you're right. And if you're looking at the video saying, who's Bo Melton? He's 16 now. He's wearing number 16, so he has changed his number. He's on that side of the ball. I've known Bo pretty well since he's been in Green Bay, and you're right. He views this as an opportunity. He used to really be Mr. Social Connector in the wide receiver room. Automatically, he's Mr. Social Connector in the defensive back area. So that's just the personality coming through there. The cornerbacks would be helped by any sort of pass rush, Lily. Gee, cue me in. This is the NFL. That's the way that goes. Do the Packers have enough?
They hope so. That's the big question, right? Will the Packers be able to get at the quarterback potentially with just 4 guys? We will see. But, Rashawn, Gary, Kingsley, and Enagbare, who you see there, Kenny Clark, these are the guys who are going to be looked upon to bring the pressure this fall. They kind of fell short of expectations last season in terms of the sack totals, but you're hoping that does get ratcheted up this fall. And with the healthy Kenny Clark, that certainly does help as well.
Matt LaFleur says their brand new locker room gets them no wins on the field, but does it help, intangibles?
Maybe. I mean, it's brand new digs. It looks nice. Guys are excited. Maybe it motivates them a little bit more. But it's a nice new space. But they have to still go out there and earn it and prove why they're going to be a good team this year.
Pictures of each guy up there, the alma mater of each guy up there, and the hometown. Sometimes the hometown gets lost, so it's kind of neat that that's up there for sure.
Well, and I think what you get out of this, I mean, you look at these athletes now and what they went through and where they went to college. I mean, say if they went to Georgia or Texas or a place like that, that locker room looks like that. I mean, so you want them to be as comfortable as possible. You want them to be able to enjoy the spaces around them, and that can help them as they go out on the field, I believe.
I don't think there's room for 4 schools up there. But, guys that transfer all over the place. We had the bikes appearing and Mark Murphy saying goodbye this week, which is a bigger deal.
It's Murphy saying goodbye. I mean, it's an end of an era. It's a guy that really seemed to connect with the players and the staff and really had the trust of that organization being the leader of it. And I think that says a lot about where this team is going and how he put them on that path.
a fixture for sure for the Green Bay Packers. You know what? Two teams are fixtures atop the National League Central Division. Does it get any better? We're talking about the Cubs and the Brewers. That's right around the corner, as their games are right around the corner. Stay with us tonight on the FOX6 Sports Blitz.
What is it when you're the lead of the parade? What do they call you?
Isthmus.
Antsiness or whatever the word is.
You know, I never knew that. You learn something new every day.
It's an amazing locker room. I don't know if y'all seen the showers yet, but it looks crazy. They got these buttons you can press. It like showers you this way. No diddy. But you know what I'm saying? But there's some good stuff out here. There's some good stuff out here for sure.
All right, Bo Melton just really kind of getting into it. We were talking about him and those new digs. I mean,
didn't check out the shower area though.
One thing that's going on big around here right now, obviously, a huge buzz around baseball is here in Milwaukee with the Brewers holding the best record in the National League along with the Cubs. The two meet this week. How big is this series, even though it's the end of July and not the end of September?
I think it is big. I have to say it is. And, of course, you have 5 games coming up at Wrigley Field in the not-too-distant future as well. It's a measuring stick. It was important for the Brewers to win today getting into it as far as I'm concerned, and you're at home. I think the Brewers want to throw the first shot, if you will, in this little matchup, see what happens when the series resumes at Wrigley Field.
He mentioned the series with the Marlins. It didn't go well for the first 2.5 games. And then they salvaged one today. How big was this series?
Oh, I think absolutely huge to win this one, thanks to Blake Perkins, the walk-off winner in the 9th inning. You know, it was kind of, okay, you look at the first game out of the break, and you can talk about the team being stuck in mud. Pat Murphy even admitted so. Yeah, that's a good way to assess it. But then the next game, it just seemed like this team was out of sorts. They were committing errors that led to some Marlins runs. And all of a sudden, you lose the series, their first in quite a while. And so it was kind of uncharacteristic Brewers baseball. They got back into it late here, and it was fun to see them salvage the series, avoid the sweep, and, of course, keep things tied with the Cubs.
And what kind of went unsaid because of the way this one ended with the walk-off and the excitement was how well Brandon Woodruff pitched. I mean, he's back.
Hard to argue. That's the best way to say it, really. He's been good every time he's gotten the ball. He's limited the damage. He has not walked people. That's a message you get when you're a 7-year-old. You know what I mean? Don't put guys on base. You're going to have the coach pitch or something. And Brandon Woodruff's done such a good job coming back out this time around, limiting that.
And when you look at consistency right now, it's Jackson Chourio. I mean, every single day he's getting a hit or multiple hits, and he's been a key in the success they've had.
Absolutely. A 20-game hitting streak? I mean, that is phenomenal for Chourio in his sophomore season with the Brewers. He gets on base every single game, it feels like. And in today's game, he just delivered in some big moments to, keep the Brewers in the game. So what he's been able to do at the plate has been phenomenal. He is red hot right now. Big part of their success of why they were able to win a big chunk of games to, really rocket them to the top of their standings. And so I think Jackson Chourio being confident at the plate, finding ways to get on base and ways to win for this team is so important as, of course, they kind of head towards the home stretch of their season.
And don't forget, he was a monster in August and September last year.
Yeah, and he has that experience behind him. One of the things that led them up to this Marlins series was an 11-game win streak. Everybody talking burgers, everybody planning on how they're going to go get their free burgers. What did that say about this team as they were able to beat some really good teams in that stretch?
Had some rallies in there, played well on the road. You're exactly right. I think it showed their legitimacy. You won different ways. You're going to get some luck on an 11-game winning streak, and they did. They will admit that. Pat Murphy would admit that. But they also played very good baseball. Their pitching is so solid that they're not going to go on long tangents, it seems like, where they're losing. Even they had lost 2 here against the Marlins. Today, they had only given up 2 runs. You might have lost, but you're still in these games because they get such good, consistent pitching right now.
Yeah, and when you look at the consistent pitching, you've got Jacob Mizorowski, who has really been unbelievable. But what we saw the last time out, Lily, he got pulled after 64 pitches, less than 4 innings. Is there a concern with him going into tomorrow night's game against the Cubs?
You hope not. And, of course, you're talking about limiting the pitches. Again, still a young guy there. But you're hoping, this doesn't kind of temper what he believes will be just a massive game on the scale of it. But I think he's kind of approaching this as any other regular game, as he should. But, hopefully that doesn't have really any sort of impact on him tomorrow. It's going to be a very marquee game to watch. Game 1 of the series. You better believe the Cubs hitters are hot. So he's got to be able to limit the damage and hope that he can help the Brewers kind of keep this game close if it needs to be.
And one of the things offensively about this team is they've played 42 games where they have not hit a home run, yet they've won half of those games. That's the best in the major leagues. What is it about this team that doesn't need power to have success?
It's Pat Murphy being right on the money when he says they just stay right there in these games. They keep the edge going. That was lacking in the start of the Marlins series. I think, right, it was so jarring because you hadn't seen that from this team very often. They got right back on, pedal to the metal in this game on Sunday. And yes, they didn't hit a home run, but you felt that they were right there in the game. The pitching keeps it close, and something else can get you over the top.
All right, so let's go back to the beginning of this weekend. It was a celebration, 25 years of American Family Field. Lily, you were out there. What was that like for the players that are playing now, but also all the guys that came back?
Oh, it was fun. I mean, again, just different eras of Brewers baseball, all in one ballpark, celebrating, of course, when Miller Park opened in 2001 up until now. So a different guy from every team was in attendance. They did the alumni home run derby, and I think it was the sold-out crowd that stayed to watch the home run derby. But Prince Fielder, Bill Hall, they were out there signing some autographs, taking some pictures. It was just good to see different guys from different teams come together and say, listen, I remember being back here. I was excited to come back. All the memories come flooding back, and it's really cool to interact with just different guys that I didn't get to play with.
One quick question: what did you think about that home run derby? Tim.
Legit.
It was fun.
Right.
Yeah.
It really was. I mean, it was one of those things that you look at, and they did it right. They brought it back and celebrated all these teams and all these players with something so fun that those sold-out crowds stayed and watched. Well, we hope you stay and watch as we have a high school hotshot to introduce to you next.
Welcome back. Inspired by Broadway musicals and her parents' musical talents, one freshman has now released her own album, and she's also played on the coolest stage. Here's this week's Fox 6 High School Hotshot.
I'm Aubrey Marie. I'm a freshman at Kewaskum High School, and I'm a singer-songwriter. I play piano's my main, guitar, ukulele, I noodle on drums, and bass. My dad played guitar ever since he was little. My mom was an opera singer. If I didn't have music in me, I think we would have had a problem. So my first memory was my parents used to DJ, and as I'm watching them, I'm like, that is so cool. I want to do something like that someday. Writing became a thing 3 years ago. My album is called Where's My Wizard of Oz? I wanted a boy with a heart, courage, and brains. I came home from school and my dad had this really cool riff on guitar, and I was like, this thing is so cool. I took the guitar and then I wrote the song on it. There are songs that are happy, sad, breakup songs, get that together songs. I think the Aubrey on stage has more attitude. The girl on stage just kind of turns into such a random person. I'm like, where did you come from? We played the Briggs & Stratton Big Backyard stage at Summerfest. A couple of days later, one of my favorite artists played the biggest stage there, and I was like, I played Summerfest as well. We were both playing the same festival together. That's so cool. My bass player, her name is Erica. My guitar player, his name is Brendan, and then my drummer's name is Tyler. I loved volleyball. It was very fun at the time, and then I picked up a pencil and a guitar, and I was like, wait, this is more fun. I'm Aubrey Marie. I'm a freshman at Kewaskum High School. I'm a singer-songwriter, and my band just played Summerfest. And I'm this week's Fox 6 High School Hotshot.
Man, well, playing at Summerfest is so cool, Aubrey. And meanwhile, she's looking forward to all the artistic opportunities she's going to have in high school. But first, the band will also be performing at the Two Rivers Snowfest over the weekend and once again at the State Fair this Thursday. We'll be right back.
On tap this week for the Brewers, the Cubs to start the week. Tuesday night's game is here on Fox 6.
And the Packers, they're busy this week. 5 practices open to the fans, including Saturday night's family night inside of Lambeau.
And hey, guess what? The Badgers kick off fall camp on Tuesday. They're going to be at UW-Platteville. And guess what? Their season, guys, just a month away.
Oh, yeah, Badger football. Where's that on your landscape?
It's a little different this
Lower
year.
than the Brewers and Packers,
That's right.
I'll say that. Thanks for joining us tonight. Have a great week.